Hey, heat mappers, how you doing? This is Greg McLeod from My Market Heat Map, and we are looking at what's going on in the markets using My Market Heat Map as our guide. And it's one of my top secrets for finding winning trading ideas. And so I just look at look at the colors, And sometimes, most people, they ask me, they write in and say, "Hey, Greg, how do you know what to trade?" And I tell them, I spend about 5 minutes figuring out what to trade because I can go to my market heat map and actually can go to the website or there's an app on my phone, and what I can do is I can simply look at what's going on in the market. Now, right now it's about 12.20 right now, and I see the dollar yen is up 0.58%. Aussie dollar 0.29%, and I traded that a lot. I was telling my private group, I said, "Hey guys, AU's getting ready to explode here," and so I even had a little rocket ship going on and a whole bunch of stuff like emojis. I actually put in the Facebook group too about AU, and so I hope you guys got a piece of that. And it's real simple. I just look there and see green means up. I'm a pretty simple guy, it's not very complicated for me. I just looked there and I saw, oh, okay, we got the green is up, and then I went long. But right now, if we go back here, you can see down below I did a lot of trades with Aussie dollar, just Aussie, right? Green was up, so it's like really cool, So now here we're really at the very extended on the dollar CAD. Dollar CAD, if you can see on the heat map, is at the very bottom, but price like a rubber band. Price goes to extremes, and sometimes we can get what we call a dead cat bounce. Now, don't get you guys out there in pedo world and animal rights. Don't get mad at me. I didn't think of this trading term. It is actually called a dead cat bounce. So I'm looking for a bounce here. In fact, I've taken a couple of trades here. In fact, I'll take another trade. I'm looking for a bounce. I'm not trying to get a whole lot here. I'm just trying to get the bounce, and maybe I'll get 5 or 6 pips, and I'll go heavy because why? We've got lots of wicks here, lots of support coming in at this level on the dollar CAD. This is the U.S. dollar versus the Canadian dollar. Okay, and right now it's lunchtime, so I call it the lunchtime reversal or the Happy Meal reversal. Certain restaurant didn't want me to use Happy Meal, so I won't use Happy Meal reversal. So I call it the lunchtime liquidation, in which we have prices actually after a prolonged move down at lunchtime. Maybe the guys in New York go to Catskill. I don't know. Maybe they hang out in their offices or they're working from home from now. But usually, what I found out that when I was trading, I would try to go. The trend is your friend, right? And you take the trend down, but I couldn't look at the markets until after class was, lunchtime and kids are out, and I could look at my computer or something like that. And then what I would see is the market already moved, and I try to trade in that direction, and then I get whipped out. Like, see, we just limited out right there, and we go actually to a smaller time frame to actually see what's going on that smaller time frame. We're going to probably limit it out again, right, as we hit our limits. Okay, and so that was that quick, right? Rebound, dead cat bounce. So that was another way of using my market heat map. Pretty simple, and we can look at our dollar. We can look at our USDCAD trades, USDCAD, and we can see we made a quick $1,200, a little bit of lunch money, and prices still going up. Don't know if I want to get in there again. We probably get up to this 100 period moving average there, but so that's it. Took 3 trades in dollar CAD, 16:17, 16:22. This is GMT time, so it took about 5 minutes to make $1,200 using a simple color coded heat map here called My Market Heat Map. And there's more to My Market Heat Map. We've got some other things going on here. There's about $9,500 worth of bonuses in the heat map, right? So it's not just one heat map. There's an equity index heat map, because what you're going to learn as you're trading that all these markets are interrelated. So we have the Dow Jones 30, we have the S&P 500, we have NASDAQ, and we have a number of other. We have the German stock market, the Hong Kong stock market, and usually we get movements. The currencies and the stock market are closely related. So I like looking at the index heat map, the stock market indices. Also, I look at commodities, because we do have commodity currencies like the Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar, and they're based on commodities. Aussie, they produce iron ore and gold and all kinds of minerals. We have New Zealand is a breadbasket of Asia, supplying lamb and grain, and we have coal coming out of Australia. We have oil coming out of Canada and lumber, and so you have commodities. I like tracking the commodities. Commodities have been on fire lately, all right? And so that means the commodity currencies are doing well also. Also like taking a look at crypto as alternative to the fiat currencies. And there's a crypto heat map. Looking at the crypto majors, and you can see that they are down a little bit. They're all red, right? So like something I'm not wanting to buy. Right now, maybe buying a dip. You never know. Could be a dead cat bounce, right? And then also I like looking at of course, the forex majors. There are about 7 major currency pairs, and I also throw the US dollar index in there as well. And so you can see dollar yen, Aussie dollar, Kiwi dollar, dollar Swiss. Kind of stay away from that. That's been kind of iffy. Pound has been on fire, but lately it's been kind of like digesting some of these gains as it crossed into the 132 handle. And the euro and dollar CAD are actually both trending down, which is pretty amazing, right? Usually the dollar pairs go in one direction and the other pairs move the other, and we're seeing kind of a mixed picture. But you can see from this one view, I can just look at all of these at the same time without looking at multiple charts, okay? Then we also have all forex pairs, not just the majors. Because once we know the majors are like the primary paints. The primary colors, red, blue, green, and you can mix them up and you can make all kinds of colors. Well, that's how the majors are. You can mix them up and then you create all these other currencies, right? Like dollar South African rand, and the Turkish yen, the Aussie yen, right? So we got the yen pairs all at the top. The yen is pretty weak. I know we had a Bank of Korea announcement yesterday, and that anytime you have an Asia market just having a interest rate announcement, the yen kind of reacts to that. And so we also see the Aussie strength also beating up on the pound and the euro, pound Aussie, euro Aussie at the bottom of the heat map. Pound is weak, so we have pound CAD down there. The pound currencies are down here. Pound CAD, pound Kiwi, the British pound versus the Kiwi, the New Zealand dollar. But what's strong is commodities. We're seeing inflation, guys. We're seeing inflation, and there's a demand for iron ore and copper, and so we'll see those things trending higher, and the commodity currencies trending higher as well, right? CAD Swiss is up there, Canadian, right? So you have these. So you get this overview, this 50,000 foot view of the markets, right? And then not only that, there are other tools, curated tools from around the web that are integrated here, such as, we have charts from TradingView. We have some great charts, and they have a great professional charting package with features. But you can chart and you can draw trend lines. You can go different multiple time frames, right? You can look at a 1 hour or 30-minute chart, right? You can draw support and resistance lines right within my market heat map. And what I do is I just open up another tab, right? There's also, so we have charting, we have quotes and economic calendar. So if you, very important to know what those dates are. This is our quote board. We also have our economic calendar, very important to keep track of the world events. We don't trade in a vacuum. If you trade with your head stuck in the sand, then if you've ever gotten to a trade and wonder, well, why did this just move like this? Well, there was probably some type of announcement that came out, right? And so you can click the tab and you can See, we had gross domestic product, GDP, out of the U.S. that came out. Negative 32.9 was the previous. Consensus was negative 32.5. Actually came in negative 31.7, better than expected. Still negative, especially after the COVID virus. But it was better, right? So we had this kind of move in the U.S. dollar. So lots of the flags tell us what country the economic announcement is, and we can look at the severity, high, low, medium. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll actually go into here and I'll make it into I only want to look at the high impact and the no impact ones. No impact ones are the holidays. I like leaving that checked. And then what I'll do is I'll uncheck all the countries that I may not follow, because there's just, it's information overload. What you want to do is just really curate and pare down the amount of information that you need. That way you can make intelligent, informed decisions, because a lot of people suffer from information overload. They just get a bunch of stuff they don't need, and they just need to weed stuff out. I want to look at the high impact ones. I only want to look at the major economies. Probably not South Africa. I love South Africa, but I don't need that in my space right now. Click save, right that, and there you go. I've got a very concise view of what's going on in the market with the high impact items. These are the things I need to watch, right? And then you can change it to your time zone. I've been using GMT lately, but if you want to use Eastern time, right, that way you can stay in line with the U.S. The major news announcements are the ones out of the U.S., right? Okay, it's very important, and I like going there. Economic calendar. There's a financial news stream, and like, if you were to get, remember Mike Bloomberg ran for office, and Bloomberg, he's the Bloomberg. They named it the channel, the financial news channels. Michael Bloomberg, he also created a very powerful tool used by traders around the world called the Bloomberg Terminal. The Bloomberg Terminal is on steroids with all kinds of financial news and information and charts and graphs and things like that. It provides a central hub of information for institutional traders. Now, if you want to go ahead and get a copy of that, it's only $2,700 a month, right? About almost $30,000 a year for a subscription, right? Because what Gordon Gekko said in Wall Street, the most valuable commodity I know is information, right? So having information. So this is like the poor man's. I made my market heat map, the poor man's Bloomberg Terminal. Okay, and I'll show you what a Bloomberg Terminal looks like. And you've probably seen, if you didn't. We had one in our office where I used to work. And I had a friend whose wife had one because she was a bond trader. Okay, so it wasn't his, it was hers. So that was really cool, right? So this is your Bloomberg Terminal, right? And you can see it has like these two screens. And then there's lots of data, different type, and there's different codes you press on the keyboard. It's a color keyboard, and you have different things. They even have a heat map, right? They have a Bloomberg heat map, and they have charting, and they have reports for all the different stocks and commodities and futures and things like that. So it's far more, this is, it's very, very sophisticated. Most traders won't see one of these in their life unless they work at a firm, work at a brokerage, or they have one. They have one in their bedroom, like my friend does. I had one at my desk. Where I used to work, and it's that information overload, just live information there. But this is similar because you have information at your fingertips. You can have your economic calendar, your financial news stream. There is also a national holiday calendar, right? If you want to find out what the holiday is around the, different countries, if they have a holiday, what happens if liquidity dries up, and and that liquidity drops, then what happens is, the market becomes a little choppy, right? We can look at sentiment. We can see, where the smart money is, and I think I talked about that and showed that, right? So we can see the currencies. We can see the ratios along to shorts, and we can see a lot of people are still short the Aussie dollar. And when the retail is very short a currency, well, guess what? They're getting crushed on the other side, and guys like me will come in there on the bid side, and we'll crush on the other side, and just crush Aussie dollar all day long, right? Just kill it all day long. While everyone's like saying, well, it can't go up any higher, it can't go up any higher, it can't go up any higher. Well, guess what? It can, right? And so, and euro yen, right? People are shorting euro yen, and because they think it can't go any higher, right? And they're long yen, right? The dumb money's long yen. So all day long you can just buy it. Given that you have a system to approach the market, this just gives you a big overview of the market. You may make some money, you may make a little going counter trend, and there's a time and a place to do counter trend. But usually this is going to crush you if it's on too one-sided, right? So we have economic calendar, we have market hours. We can see, hey, when the markets open and close. I had one person tell me GMT stood for like general market time. That's Greenwich Mean Time, or right, UTC. See, when the markets are open, I had people saying, Greg, I saw this big gapping candle. I don't know how the spreads are so wide here. Well, it's 5 p.m. Eastern time, and I don't know what bank it's open at 5 p.m. That's a big industrial bank or institutional bank that's actually trading, right? So knowing when the markets are open and when they're closed, that is very important. You don't want to go to a party where there's no one at the party. There's no beer, there's no snacks, there's no cookies, there's no pin the tail on the donkey, there's no DJ, because they're closed, right? But if you don't know that, I got off work, I want to trade. It's like, no one's there. So one of the mistakes people do when they trade is they don't trade where there's a party, where there's enough people, right? Have you ever been to a party with like 2 people standing around, whether it's a birthday party or whatever, and there's lots of space in between them? I mean, now with COVID, yes, you have to have space, right? That's a good party to be at, actually. All times have changed, right? So liquidity, we have a liquidity indicator here that you can actually check out, and you can see like where times of the day when there's lots of liquidity is where you want to be in the market. When the liquidity drops off, you want to be out of the market, right? Never try to pedal a kayak with very little water and you're scraping the bottom, right? And you have to get up and walk the kayak. That was happening during the drought that we had. I think I took a kayak out with a buddy, and we sat in the kayak, and the kayak went. We were running aground. We were not rowing anywhere. So basically, it had enough water in that creek to support the adult beverages in the cooler, but any other weight would just make us sink to the bottom, right? There's also volatility, right? So we want to, lessen, go where there's a lot of water, right? So here's our volatility, and it tells you like what the volatility is for the 5-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute. That's volatility is how much up swing there is in the price. Sometimes there's no volatility. Something is like hardly moving at all. Euro pound has very low volatility, right? Euro pound is 7.5 in 15 minutes, and the euro, this Czechoslovakian currency here, is 95.2, right? So usually your exotics give you a lot of volatility, right? Which can be too much. Your gold is very volatile, right? Extremely volatile, right? But it's also more risky too. So you want, so you can check out volatility. And there's some other things are the central bank rates. If you want to, one of the biggest drivers of currencies are interest rates. And you can see everybody's a race to zero, race to, you know, I mean, Sweden, you still get 0.25, right? The Swedish kroner, and it's beating up the U.S. dollar, right? And then you've got negative interest rates in the United States, -1. Norway is -2.5. You know, and Switzerland had negative interest rates for a long time, and actually they were negative 0.75, right? Negative 0.75. And then U.S. is still high. It's still 0.25. You can get 0.25 here. Hungary's 0.6. Russia's 4.25. And Turkey's 17.75. Now, yes, you could get into that currency and get the interest rate swap. However, sometimes the currency will depreciate really bad, you know, while you're getting this interest. Now, you can see how this is affecting the Turkish lira. 17.75 is the interest rate. And if you look at my market heat map under all currency pairs, you'll see that the Turkish lira is actually in the top spot, or was in the top spot. Heat map, where this TRYJPY, there is 0.68%. That's pretty hefty. So it's going up in value, and you're getting the swap too, right? So not sure if we see a chart, we can go quickly to look at a chart and say, okay, TRYJPY, we'll try JPY. I mean, try T. It's really TRY. Is it, you know, like try? Like, can we try? Hey, it's like rugby, right? It's like a score. It's called a try, right? It's like, you know, trying is overrated, right? Or underrated. So here we go. Wow. It's up, but it's not. But on the daily chart, hour chart, 30-minute chart, there is a bunch of support here, though. You can see, lots of support there, and then we had like a range, top of the range, and then we kind of like broke through the top of that range, right? If this is like a major range, we're just kind of, that is a multiple day range there, right? You can see where sellers have tried to push price below 1433, and we haven't gotten there, right? And this is a nice gap, you know, the big, you know, kind of very aggressive move to the south side, right? So we expect probably a reversal to the upside, which could be pretty cool because you get the appreciation in the currency, and you also earn what Japan is negative interest rate, and you get 17.75. So you're borrowing at negative, and you're getting positive interest. So the carry is unbelievable. You know, that might be something, I don't know where you can trade that. I'm not sure. I think they took that off of a lot of platforms because of, you know, Turkey can be a little unstable here, right? But if you can, this, we might retest this old high. Okay. Anyway, that's some of the things that over the next few days or the next couple of weeks. I'm going to have one of my instructors. His name is Tom, and he's going to go over and answer your questions and actually do some live explanations. You know, walk you through my market heat map, and also answer any of your questions that you may have about the market. And he's going to be on Tuesdays from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, and I believe that's going to be around GMT 11 or something like 11 p.m. 10 to 11 p.m. Okay, so if you are interested, you know, it's going to be free, and you just hop on, and he'll walk you through my market heat map, and then answer any of your questions toward the end, and help you maybe integrate this into your trading routine. Okay. My name is Greg McLeod. It's so happy to be able to present this to you. I wish you all the best. Stay safe, wear your masks, keep your social distancing, and we'll get through this together. And I'll see you on the other side. This is Greg McLeod signing out. Cheers.
If you felt a spark here and want to see how these principles can be used in your own trading, go to www.elitetradersuniversity.com/apply to book a free session with our team. We have helped hundreds of people remove the frustration and obstacles in trading to become consistent, highly profitable traders. These are proven principles that just work. Happy pipping!